Gil-Galad.
Oh God, where's our princess? Help!
Can you give me the summary?
The elves of Respite do have the tendency to be very elaborate, but to summarize, in fact, Gil-Galad, it seems that the clergy of Respite has need of you. As far as I could decipher from the message, a high priest of Aduial was, well, ambushed and killed. And now there will be a vote that they think requires your attention. However, there were no details about that in the message, as they were apparently deemed too important to be written.
How can they not be in the letters? It's huge.
Well, there is a lot of formal talking about a lot of formal things, so it takes up at least the first 2 or 3 pages.
Just
Probably
all the titles and like all of that needs to be sorted out.
Everything must have a subheading with a subheading with a subheading.
Yeah, of course. So, well, Gil-Galad will still, glimpse over the 5 pages, I guess, taking, a bit of a rush, I guess, glimpse, but still. And then he will turn to the rest of you, as well as, I suppose, Carlotte, and say, the matters of Jewel Sand seem to be still increasing. And as we have recently heard from Warwick, there is some conflict that is still brewing there. He mostly turns to Anrakyn, I suppose. Do you think you could handle things without my assistance for a while?
I can. No, crooked his head. Said, probably.
I know you're all capable of perhaps dealing with the situation, but I can't shake the feeling there are also more personal matters you deal with and conflicts. Maybe inside each one of you.
Well, we have talked of a lot of problems brewing all over the place, and if we can send you to Respite to perhaps deal with that and try to get Respite ready for what is to come, then that might be a good idea, I suppose.
Gil-Galad would nod and say, I will then try to look for a channel, perhaps. Last time I was here, there was some movement, let's say, towards home. Perhaps there is still a way. Perhaps they left some, well, some path to follow to weaken the travel.
I suppose it would make sense. You have a lot of sway back there. Especially now with you knowing somewhat what you are.
If you believe it,
He will, kind of smile, turn back to his illusion, kind of, probably waving you goodbye. Quite early on. I mean, he's still here, but there are other things happening there. And he will nod again and say, well, there have been some revelations, and it was a matter, I suppose, I already have somewhat discussed with my self. But I still believe we have some time at least left to spend with each other. And saying that mostly to his illusion, still waving.
Sure, it's eager. He's not.
Yeah, probably. Who knows?
We'll have to make you an official signet ring of the compact, so you can like wear that, like, you know.
Nice to we've all done that now and have like matching outfits too.
Yes.
Well,
We
at least
definitely,
start with
no, we need like a sash,
Silver
or like
and grey color. You know.
like a sash with like all of our personal colors woven in, like silver, black, purple, whatever else we have.
I mean, Talia wears a ton of blue because of her azure flame. So
Black, blue, silver.
Blue and silver is a good combination.
Blue and silver is a good combination.
especially what
I
Talia
would be
pretty much wears.
I would be honored to represent this group.
We would be honored to have you represent us.
Indeed.
And please tell the Elf King to choose his concubines more carefully.
If we ever meet again, especially in that place, perhaps we shouldn't refer to that matter.
Yes. What did happen to my concubine out there? I told you to take a look, and you're like, I never met her. Don't know. Never ran across each other.
But I will look into it. Maybe something there.
It seems likely that our Fey Wilderhead / whatever else is behind this has its claws fairly deep into the Elven Court. The corruption seems to run deep to me.
It is a possibility.
Well, in which case, Gil-Galad can root it out.
Exactly. That is another reason why I was perhaps eager to visit my home.
I certainly trust in your skills to do such.
I can only hope you're right.
The kind of pauses for a second, looking at kind of like Gil-Galad's shadow. Two of you should do well.
Do I look at you or the shadow? It's very confusing.
One's the real one.
I don't
That one.
know.
Well, it doesn't really matter, I suppose.
Well, in that case, I suppose we are off to Freedom's Hold to try to sort some business out.
Yes,
Now-
sir.
I will quickly pay some respects at my temple nearby. But yes,
Understood. We would need to find horses as well. So perhaps Lady Charlotte can
Provide.
help with that. Yeah.
One last matter. Not a message to you or a letter of any kind, but rather, well, you did mention these Fey things and such, and as coincidence would have it, I've sent both Bezrina and Rochelle to, in fact, investigate the Feywild some time ago.
Oh. I could think of no one better to do that, actually. That's exactly where I would send them to.
Oh, they do love that kind of thing. I think they would be very much at home there if they ever decided to settle down, but that is another story. Regardless, their findings are inconclusive, although, well, how did they put it? They believe that the Fey and the Feyworlds are multiplying.
What does that mean? Does it mean that more creatures are going there, or that they're actually procreating?
I believe it means neither of those two things. I do not know much about these creatures, but I do not think that they multiply through normal means. If there's more popping up, that might just means that they're leaving the place where they normally live and coming here instead. Of course, them multiplying in the Feywild does not really concern us here, and might not even concern Respite, as there's a rather large stretch of desert in the way. However, it does indicate that something is going on there.
Yes, we before long will need to have a portal or something to transport us there for us to directly investigate. And
If these Fae are indeed living in another, she shrugs a bit, plane or dimension or whatever, then they might just be spilling out from there, which would indicate that, well, there might already be a portal there.
Perhaps something we should investigate it then.
where did she think the portal was?
In the Feywilds, south of the Jewel Sands.
It's a pretty long trip.
If you look on the world map,
It is right below the desert.
Oh no, that is on the other side of the world.
We might get
Literally.
there at some point.
Eventually, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. After Crimson Peak, there's that long way that goes there.
There is. Is that like a railroad?
that is the route that caravans usually take.
Okay.
There isn't really a road there. That's just the general way that is accepted and more or less safer-ish than other routes. Though Charlotte does continue saying, well, there might already be a portal there. The Wilderhead herself has shown that making new portals isn't impossible. I do not believe that there just happened to be a portal right where the Doom was sleeping. I do believe that she created one of those as well. And if she can do that, then certainly so can you. She smiles a bit at that.
Isn't the Wilderhead like the most powerful creature in existence? Saying that we can do the same is certainly
I don't think
a
it
compliment.
Hirandor, why don't you roll me your relationship dice? Specifically
Sure.
your Wilderhead one.
Just click my button.
Well, Hirandor would at least know that, yeah, rumors have it, you only stay the Wilderhead if you're stronger than literally everyone else. Rumor, however, also has it that she's probably the second biggest Terran on the continent, the biggest being the enemy. And generally, magical prowess isn't usually something that Tenim really have. They do exhibit some nature-oriented magical abilities, like druidic in nature almost, but arcane not so much. And opening a portal to another plane, definitely an arcane matter. Oh, well, Tenim do rather often even do show divine abilities, although that's mostly the gold, really. Some of the grey, even.
But then, of course, that's because they indefatigably worship the Lady of Rainbow Scales, right? Right?
Most likely. Although, on top of that information that Hirandor can share, Charlotte does somewhat pause and say, yes, while arcane prowess is rare for them, it is not entirely impossible. She pauses slightly. I do in fact know of at least 2 individuals that possess sorceress abilities of a kind. And if there's 2, there ought to be more. And for something like the Wilderhead, chances are that if you would possess those abilities, it would help you, well, being the Wilderhead in the first place. So perhaps she has magical abilities, but so do you.
Yes, we do. Talia looks towards Anrakyn for a second, considering.
Good nods. I certainly do. We have a lot of magic in the group. And if all else fails, we can always, use more blood from Hirandor to empower the ritual.
Well, it seems
Rare
like Graham-
occasions.
It seems like Graham is better at doing that for you. Looks over.
But the fresher the blood, the better, you say. And the ground does not really bleed as such.
Nobody does have power.
Yes. I'll turn into a blood mage yet.
Yeah. I'm sure there are vaults deep below these places that no one is allowed to go to.
Yeah.
Go Dragon Age on us, huh?
Loot.
Well.
Well,
In that case, basically, well, we have explained of our alliance. We have explained what we're trying to do. We have asked Charlotte to keep doing what she's doing on our behalf and hopefully be on our side. Do we see her perhaps on the scroll?
Not really.
She's not going to be in the fight. So
No, I guess not.
She's very much not a fighter. But she will promise you that if you want to, she will pound the drums of rumor mongering, basically.
Sure.
That's good.
We'll
We
rally.
need that. Spread our name.
Talk to the artist. See if you can get him / her. I forget if it's a him or her actually.
It is currently a him.
Right. If you can get him
We need
on
to
our
get
side.
all the hipster wizards
I know.
and young idealists and that
Yes,
sort of thing. Like
yes, we
the
need-
fervor of youth, the
Yes.
feeling of dignity and justice that need to be dished out.
Yes.
That's what we
That's
need.
definitely what we
Recruit.
need.
Gram
people.
is targeting to the youth.
Yes.
Since
we need
Obviously,
to-
get them while they're young and
We
they will
need
stay
to,
forever.
yeah, we need to recruit young.
A youth party to our compact.
get
Or
the
the Sterling
got the
Hold
name right.
compact youth.
A group. Yeah. We have like incredibly charismatic like leaders in there
So,
screaming and
Yes, one thing this group clearly has is a lot of charisma.
Hey, I do.
what?
And how much does Graham
Paladin.
have? I shouldn't be.
I have like 14.
I have
Screaming.
a
That's good. 14 is good.
I actually
Definitely more than me and Gil-Galad.
I have an 18 actually.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, even mine is positive.
I mean, yeah, ours are positive, but I mean, we only have 12.
Yeah, which is not only, it's still pretty good.
Yes, but it's not 18.
No, of course.
No.
That's
And Anrakyn is
really
not-
excellent.
Anrakyn is not really like a face, like he's a
Charisma argues otherwise.
Graham can be the face when he has one.
exactly that's what I mean. He would walk up Emperor Palpatine style. I am scarred and deformed, but my resolve has never been stronger.
I mean, it's not a lie that it was the that it was the Wilders who did it.
It's true.
So
True.
I mean, you know,
And
they have
you know,
betrayed us all.
Enrican in his wizened form will raise his gnarled hands and be like, "For a safe and secure society."
Better not go be vendetta on us.
Is that what Lady Charlotte has for us?
Yes.
A potential portal location and some letters.
Okay,
Right. And her undying support.
wonderful.
Well, she can also give you some updates on the potential task that she gave you last time, which is basically that her friend in Crimson Peak, he got off sort of easy, although not quite. He's still alive, at least, and the whole matter is somewhat closed, so that's good. And apparently the Cloud Dragons have aborted their mission.
No.
They are not going out into the mist after all, which is incredibly uncharacteristic. Usually, when a Cloud Dragon wants to do something as ridiculous and dangerous and absolutely stupid it is, they won't back down. But they did.
They
What
found
about
something
Akren
terrible.
Arden Crest? Are there, ships going there again?
There are the occasional ship going there now, yes, although the waters are still far more dangerous than they used to be. So the ship traffic isn't quite up to what it was. There's also, of course, the thing that there's fewer people going to Arden Crest because news of the Oracle and most of the Gold Dragons being gone has spread.
Wait, the Oracle is gone?
Yes.
Yeah, she wasn't there.
Oh.
The
I
only
thought he
gold
was
dragon
just
who
out,
was
out doing something.
Well,
the
that
only
was
gold
the
dragon
assumption.
who
Yeah.
was at Ardencrest was Amaranth, and that's it.
Why is with these icons all running away and disappearing?
Well, they're being defeated by the Fae,
But
taken out.
God damn it!
Wow,
Hey, hit
this
squad.
becoming even new.
This is a power vacuum that we are here to fill.
Yes, I agree. We'll set
Now
up
there could be
Gil-Galad as
rumors
a
that
new
prophecies, basically prophecies saying that they say that Anrakyn the Undying is a forger of souls. Prophecy tells us that he shall rise and lead us into a new age of freedom and goodness.
Uh-huh.
The 14th.
I have come. The grave cannot hold me. Yay! Anrakyn.
You will come back
And he
from the
wakes up.
dead and save us.
Anyway,
Yeah, okay.
alright, so there's still some work we can do there. I'm meeting up with that guy.
Alright. Cool.
Cool.
We
Basically, none of the issues she presented you last time are completely gone yet, although they're basically all sort of somewhat resolved, but could be opened up again.
So let's go and pay off our debt.
Yes, let's
We promised
pay
two things. I
our
remember one of
dues.
them.
Let's pay our dues, Yeah. And settle
was
the
that here?
score.
What's that?
Was that in Free City?
No, Freedom's Hold.
Freedom's Hall.
Yeah. So about that, Sip,
It's the same person,
Yeah.
pretty much. So
do you think there is enough time to kind of conclude some of our business in Freedom's Hall today?
I think so, maybe. Some of it, anyways.
Because if there isn't, perhaps Gil-Galad should depart, a bit earlier.
Is this
I
your?
thi- I think-
Is this your last session?
Yeah.
I think you should stick around. It would be dumb if you just sat here.
Okay.
What are you talking about? The Edling needs them.
Edeling needs a player with his one macro of X.
no, he
It's
will
an important
axe,
macro, okay?
this person if we can have the.
Yeah.
Shards.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, you really love
Soul.
Yes, Freedom's Hold.
Top-
On
top of your
swiftest, on the
token
swiftest
space.
horses in the city.
You guys bought horses?
Well, I mean, this lady offered.
Finally!
She gives us some, so.
You can be
already
supplied
had
with
one.
horses.
So,
Except for
Hirandor.
Except for Hirandor. He will slack behind, but that's fine.
No,
He'll
Hirandor-
catch up
Fly
eventually.
along.
Hirandor cannot acquire. Well,
It's not
Hirandor could acquire a horse or two as well, but not for riding.
Just
Eat the horses.
Just take a. Just
What's
take
the
a. No, no, no. Just buy a huge cart, lay in it, and have the horses pull you along.
Exactly.
chariot, a dragon chariot.
Yeah, a dragon chariot. Yes. Hello, I am magnificent.
He'll just fly along.
You
That's
see,
fine.
everyone kept
Watch
complaining.
my
I was breaking.
corpulence.
Everyone kept complaining my claws were breaking stuff.
Yeah,
so...
Dusky made him to fan him his corpulence. He's dragged along.
In the free city, if they saw you eating like raw meat, they would gag and be like, "Oh,
Yep.
terrible,
Probably. But that doesn't stop.
disgusting."
That doesn't stop certain people from wanting to make a profit by, selling horse meat.
And now look at this disheveled heap of a city that is Freedom's Hall. Look at this place. Oh,
See, this
It
is
is
the kind of
free.
place that Hirandor will not feel bad about destroying a sign or two. With a wing.
They have it tough. They're mostly fleet, like indentured servants.
I know.
Who worked in the horrible death swamps to create drugs from giant eels that eat people.
Yep.
So you best be on your best behavior here, sir. They have
Yeah.
seen enough shit.
That is a very good point. Whereas the Free City is generally accepted to be, well, the Free City. It was originally a gift from the architect. It was not built from scratch. This place, built from scratch.
And buys with scratch.
This is where we met Warwick. This was a great place.
Mm.
Are there signs of your battle around the town?
think it's bad.
Very
It's sprawling.
huge areas of town you've torn apart for your fighting.
You know, he's
Nice and gracious.
Hirandor's careful, but you know.
We have a tiny dragon friend here.
Tiny
Don't
dragon.
forget him. Tiny
Yeah.
dragon friend. Saved him.
Oh yeah.
Well, entering Freedom Soul, I will not spend too much time on the description because it's basically what you see in the picture. It is a reasonably sized city, really. A palisade of entire logs spanning around the entire thing. It's mostly known for, well, first of all, the fact that it was completely founded by humans, in this case, and as independent from the architect as the Free City is, or perhaps even more so, likely even more so. It is known for its academy, although the academy here, unlike in the Free City, focuses on practical applications, farming and fighting mostly. Also entering the city, Hirandor would very quickly notice something, and that is the fact that entering, there are quite a few people looking at him in a sort of "I would rather you not be here" look, to the point where he might think that there are even some mumbled remarks behind his back and such. And going to your tiny dragon friend, as he called him, you will notice that the Cloud Dragon post is closed permanently. The door is barred shut. The sign gone.
That's not a good sign.
I suppose we go to the tavern, the place.
The cat and the cucumber, or the tavern where
The other
we would
one,
meet.
the meeting
one, yeah.
tavern. Probably telling Hirandor that he might want to be on his utmost behavior here, because this is not a place that generally, like, his kind have been known to enslave these people, so they're not super into big dragons, because that's kind of a bad sign.
Be as splendorous and magnanimous as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Before we continue, then I'll take another quick break. Sorry, my bladder is running rampant.
Pride, here, dragon pride is anathema to goodness. So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've got these people have been through hard times. I, you know, can understand.
Oh, yeah.
It's just,
Although I do think that it was better when we ruled them. It was like
He doesn't remember. He doesn't remember that time. You know, he wasn't hatched back then. He's only a couple centuries old, so.
only a good human is one ruled by a dragon. Like, Hirandor, you need to... God damn it.
The dragon is what rolls on its back in submission. Call me old-fashioned.
you know, this is other people's home, and you don't. The honourable
or something.
Yeah, the honourable thing to do would be not to insult the people unless, you know, they try and stab you. Then generally, that's yeah.
And if they look at you a little dangerous, they're not used to people having weapons for hands. So
It's true. Yeah,
or being the size that could swallow like people. So
most of them.
it's pretty understandable that they would have some apprehension to being around you. Like, imagine in real life if there was a guy that was big enough to swallow you and had blades for fingers. Like, you wouldn't hang around that guy much.
No, he totally gets it, and you know, he's being nice.
Yeah, you know, someone can kill you with a look. They don't really like that, generally.
He's just ignoring it. Yeah, he's just sort of like, okay, sure.
The badger in the barrel wasn't Coppergate. Was not.
Oh yes, the badger and barrel.
This was the cat and the cucumber.
Cat and the cucumber. Yes.
I was
All
giving
taverns
this
in this world are named the X and the Y.
someone else. I don't have them right now.
But we're here to meet someone, and my blade will show me the way. Sometimes that is another sinister way to.
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
You shouldn't say that it's mean, but
The blade of Graham does sort of indicate the direction, but in the sort of
see what you did there.
180-degree angle. It's sort of that way. It's the best the blade can do, and even the distance is very vague. What you can feel is that you're close, probably in the city, but it can't pinpoint the exact building.
We'll go in that sort of direction.
Yeah, following Graham's feelings basically will also lead you to, well, where the tavern was, where you met Ace the first time. In this sort of... What?
Sorry, continue.
In this sort of district of the city with quite a few empty warehouses, quite a few workshops and such that perhaps once were used but are now just empty. A couple taverns here and there still operating. There are still people running around. Some of the warehouses are definitely in use. Looks like grain mostly and other farm and other sort of agricultural products. But it's certainly not the heart of the city. It's sort of the area of back alleys and such, with the people stopping their work to glare after you, basically. And eventually you do reach the tavern where you met her before, where she said that she was going to meet you again, and also where the blade kind of feels like it is, but it could also be 10 blocks that way, basically.
I think it's a safe bet that it's going to be in that place where she said she would be.
Mm-hmm.
She seemed to know a lot of things, so...
The tavern itself, from the outside, seems empty. The door closed. There are a few people around, but there are people around. Most of them kind of lounging about, smoking maybe, watching... Well, mostly spending the time watching you at this point, really. Sort of leaning against the wall, arms crossed. Let's see. And as you enter the tavern, it is fairly dark inside, with only a lamp on one of the tables. There are no patrons and no barkeep, but there is a single person. Which, in fact, is Ace, sitting at a table, just looking at you, basically, her arms sort of, her hands sort of intertwined, her elbows resting on the table. She frowns a bit at Hirandor, but still gestures all of you inside.
Oh, we go inside. Graham goes about, at least, with a sort of a slight smile on his face, you know. We're finally going to repair that bottle we have hanging around forever.
As she will once again, as she did last time, gesture towards the seats at the table. You can unsnap from the grid, it's fine.
Yeah.
Is it?
We're all within a close range, so...
Yes.
Aaron will be ready to intercept.
Yeah, the room of the tavern does look like it really hasn't been used much at all in the past weeks, months perhaps. Thick layers of dust on the other tables. This one seems to at least have been sort of cleaned off. There are barrels laying around, boxes and whatnot. She sort of looks at you with a sort of smile.
And then says, at her, not smiling.
It's been a while, Ace.
It has been a while, hasn't it?
You seem to have...
How has your business been faring?
She smiles a bit at that. Oh, all right, I suppose.
You seem to have been busy. The city is on the brink of what exactly? Genocide? Purgings?
Oh, there will be no such thing. You have seen the city. There's nothing to be purged.
Frowns
No
at her.
point, really.
There was something missing.
You misunderstand my intentions, I think. I do not seek conflict. I do not seek... Well, I do seek confrontation, but not violent confrontation.
Okay, well, nod, just sort of look a bit, I say, we have not come here just to do idle chatter. fact, you have something that we need. Something that everyone needs us to have.
She smiles, sort of cat-like smile. And I do believe that you have things that not only I need, but you promised.
The thing we promised you is destroyed. It does not no longer exist. Instead, it has been remade.
Let us not argue about semantics. Besides, there's another thing I wanted from you that I have yet to receive. Of course, I did not give you a deadline.
It's the bottle.
I know.
Just a parenthesis here, if you wish. The information she gave us, by the way, about, I believe it was Gareth's whereabouts. Basically, she told us to ask someone in Coppergate, right? And he sent us to the wrong place, right?
Yes.
So her information was wrong.
Yeah.
We do not own her.
It was bunk.
Regardless.
Okay.
She still has something we want, right?
Yeah, she does. I'm just not sure about her intentions. I do still believe that she's an icon, and I would rather not fight her. But God so help me, I will throw down if she... her damned seceding tactics.
Anrakyn, with those thoughts, why don't you give me a sort of magical perception check?
Sure.
Basically, your magical background with wisdom, I think.
How much power do you sense emanating from her?
Yep. That's a 27.
27. That's pretty good. Well, she is sitting there. Anrakyn perhaps subconsciously or even consciously trying to sense for whatever indications of strength, of power he can get. He will sense two things, most of all. One, a distinct absence of the two magical daggers, the hilt as it were, and two, a rather distinct feeling of illusion magic at work.
She's not really here.
Yes.
I don't know that, though.
Anrakyn will frown, and maybe, underneath, like sitting next to Graham, he will sort of shift in a way that he has done in the past, that Graham knows is a signal that something's up, or, something is wrong. Tilt his shoulder a little bit, or like sling his leg over the other.
I suppose with that movement, Graham's demeanor will change. Though for no easily discernible reason, he sort of frowns, looking at it and says, "Look, you know a lot about what's going on here, and I don't know if you know enough to know why we're here. But if you don't, perhaps a trade of information we inform you of some things we have found out that you will surely be interested in. In return, you allow us to reforge this blade and continue on with our quest."
I do distinctly remember that the last time I offered you information, up front, by the way, has not yet quite paid out for me.
It was not very good information. Turned out that your contact was a rather terrible one.
An idiot.
We have wondered if it was on purpose, if you tried to get us killed. We lived, though.
I keep my promises. It was the best I can do.
And then this was the best we could do in return, I suppose.
Information being
Wrong.
not up to your standards, one way or the other, you are not giving me anything. And you distinctly promised something, two things even. It's not just enough that you're trying to break one promise, you are trying to break two.
In return, we will save the world for you.
Oh, I do believe that the world in its current state isn't quite worth saving, but that is another matter. I'm not here to discuss philosophy or world views or politics even. I'm here to receive, nothing else. After we've balanced out the scales, as it were, I would be willing to exchange more things.
And how would
be it
you,
information or otherwise.
And how would you be able to receive anything? You are not even here.
Oh, that should not surprise you that I'm not willing to confront you in person.
Frowns. You mistrust us that much?
I am careful. And you obviously do not intend to just deliver what you promised and be done with it. If
No,
you were on more
because-
friendly terms with me, then I would be on more friendly terms with you.
Because we do not know who you are or what your plans are. You might be in on all of this. Your militarization of this place, your throwing out of the tenement of this city, your seeding of discord and chaos is not good.
I did not throw them out. They left voluntarily, as they should have.
Yes, voluntarily with your blade at their necks, threatening them with violence, mistreatment, and lower wages, I heard. Yes, voluntarily indeed.
Shall I tell you a story about lower wages, or rather, non-existent wages and bad treatment?
I do not care of history. I care of now.
Then you are blind indeed.
Regardless. Eric gives her a smile and says, this is all gotten out of hand. We have
No, I
something
do
you
not think it
want.
has. I do
You
not
have
think it
something
has
we
gotten
want.
out of hand yet.
Frown says, it could.
Oh yes, it could.
But I will not have that tone. If you please.
I can have any tone I like. I'm not actually here.
Graham shakes his head slightly. The frown says, it could be so easy. So he says, I have some sympathy with your cause. You know that. But there are things going on right now that require my utmost attention. We do not have to be enemies. We can simply deal our business and go each to our own. We, however, need some assurance that with what we give you, you will not unleash it upon people, only research it to fight it.
I did give you my promise that I intend to use the liquid purely for research, purely to defend myself from it. I can also suggest about the blades matter that, well, you wish to reforge the sword, I wish to do the same. Give me the blade, I shall reforge it, and subsequently use it for my purpose, after which I will return it to you. It is a simple matter.
There is a changes to it. It is not as it was. Anrakyn, it has been reforged with the souls of destroyed dragons. There is information in there that we require rather urgently, and we can only acquire such once we have courted the spirits that now linger within. As such, we need to be able to speak to them. As such, we need it reforged.
That does not change my proposal. If the sword is more than it was before, that is just fine by me. I still need it, and then I shall return
For what?
it. My matters are my own.
That's not good enough.
No.
You are the ones who agreed to promise. I told you the price for the information I was able to give. I gave you the information I was able to give, and now here you are.
Here we are.
I can assure you that my intentions, I do not think, are in any way opposing yours. I am aware of what you are facing, but
Then you have every intention to make this as easy for us as you can. It will be better off for everyone if we do not have to stay here and dig you out of whatever hole you are hiding in. We have all the time in the world, And as this is a crucial matter for us, we have no alternative. You are either deflecting our attention or forcing confrontation. There can be no middle way.
What I'm trying to do right here is to offer you a chance to do the right thing. She sort of turns towards Hirandor.
Anrakyn looks at her. We are offering you the same.
She turns towards Hirandor. It says, your companions here made a promise. A promise that they agreed to. A promise that I did not force upon them. And now they come here demanding more things. I do know a thing or two about your kind. I do know that you cannot pretend to be what you are. I do know that the silver essence in particular is one of, well, quite honestly, one that I like. I like your kind. There are far too few of you. And yet here you are associating with those that will inevitably turn you into something far different, I think. How do you like the color black, I wonder? She sneers towards Anrakyn.
He kind of like lifts a lip at that as a kind of a snarl. Says, I think you will find that I made no promise. And my allegiance with these people are not with you. It is with a different matter. Watch your tone when it comes to my heritage.
Turning a blind eye, I see. I do believe this conversation is finished, yes?
Anrakyn looks over to Graham. Fetch the shovels then.
Francis.
It's time to dig, I suppose.
You really wish this upon all of us. You know it will not end well.
Oh, I do certainly hope so. As she says that, she, well, first of all, frowns rather deeply, snips with her fingers, and disappears.
Bramble sort of frowns, sort of moving his fingers to his temples.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. As around you in the tavern, some of the barrels and boxes burst, revealing...
For initiative.
Yes. Revealing, well, what was inside. Very, very angry things.
Bleh!
I won't really describe them because I think you can kind of imagine what they are.
Yeah.
As, well, not only are they bursting out, anyone who's also magically inclined will also very quickly sense them. You are still surprised, however.
Are we though?
Poor foolish girl.
Are we really?
I don't know if I'm
didn't-
surprised.
Yeah,
I guess you
I
expected
kinda
confrontation.
pissed her off.
Like
I
when the
guess you
convers-
expected confrontation, yes.
Yeah.
And I
We
We
also
didn't
praised
expect it from the barrels, perhaps, but you know,
You are not surprised that you are rolling for initiative.
Yeah. Yeah.
kinda saw that coming.
Oh, come on.
Oh god, the initiative's completely wrong.
So I suppose we'll take over Freedom's Hold.
It would be bad for Freedom's Hold. It used to be such a nice place, and now it's going to be a smoking hole in the ground.
It's literally going to be a home of death,
Stolen it
decay,
from
and
us.
Do you know what happens to a city if I cast Circle of Death as a ritual?
We'll have to enclose the holes in it.
We don't need to. We simply
Exactly.
need to. Well, I mean,
So
at
we
least
don't-
people will probably tell us before that point, right?
Screaming, give her up!
If she flees the city, I'll know.
Let's focus on this battle for now, okay? Before we go around doing
This is a mere trifle.
That's the thing. She's
Attempt
somewhere in the
betrayal.
city, isn't she?
She's pretty close.
Or at least the daggers are somewhere in the city.
We can abandon what we seek, which is just fine if she wants to flee.
Let's see. Could Talia and Anrakyn make me a magical knowledge check? So, arcane matters. Because elementals are certainly an arcane matter.
26.
26? Talia?
the thing. How the fuck am I gonna hit these things?
With claws and
Punch the
bite.
water or like the other stuff. Just don't punch the fire one, probably.
GDS?
Yes, you may be muted. I cannot hear.
Yes, ninja AFKing.
He's ninja AFK'd.
Maybe just
That's
me.
embarrassing.
That
Oh,
is very
Talia is
embarrassing.
frozen in fear and contact.
I mean, I don't even see her in initiative, so.
No.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true,
no,
that's true.
he's not here. That's interesting.
No
But
problem. No,
Anrakyn knows a thing or two about elementals. And what he knows is that, considering the sort of energy he feels and the size of these things are impressive, to say that they are rather scary, in fact. It takes a lot of energy to control an elemental. It also takes quite a bit to capture one in the first place, or rather to make one, because they are not natural creatures. They are artificial constructs, basically. Chances are, however, that these ones aren't controlled, meaning they take no energy at all to really maintain. Also means that they are going to run absolutely rampant.
Okay, he will call this out. She has unleashed unshackled elementals. If you do not destroy them, they will level the city. She's crazy, mad.
Someone was talking about leveling the city. Just
He was thinking it.
who was it? Yeah.
He was thinking it. He never said
Just
it.
my
Never could say,
imagination. You know.
Yes, no.
Fine.
Quiet.
Hush now. Shh.
Yes, I'll add Talia to initiative, and she gets to act first. But she's surprised.
She is surprised.
Apparently.
She was reading in the
Yeah.
book. I thought, yes.
Ram is not surprised by this filthy betrayal.
Nope.
So be it. He shall activate his ghoul form, adding +4 to his initiative also. So, that's a thing.
Extra speed.
Yes, you
As
do,
he
in
will-
fact.
as
move
he
up
will
in initiative.
Shed his skin. And strike out with anger. So that's what he does. He casts a spell.
Does Anrakyn know if these creatures have any special vulnerabilities or like?
Vulnerabilities, Anrakyn would know no. It depends on the elemental whether they have resistance.
Okay.
In the case of...
They're resistant
See,
to
which
their
one
own
actually?
element, I expect. But
they are not even that.
Oh,
They are well, he would know of 2 resistances. It's that, well, fire elementals are resistant to fire. The others aren't resistant to their own element.
okay.
Air elementals, however, are somewhat, well, really hard to hit with non-spell damage. You can't really punch an air elemental, but you can shoot missiles at it. Like magic missiles, that is. The rock and the water one can be hit, well, by anything, really.
Okay.
Although, actually, no, the water elemental is resistant to weapon damage as well.
could we freeze the water elemental?
Not just in a snapshot. That would require a ritual, which Anrakyn does not have time for.
I was thinking, breath. Yeah.
Gil-Galad.
Okay, I guess let's start with some divine endurance, giving every PC plus 20 temporary HP.
Okay.
And then I suppose I will just focus for now. Things may be coming.
Okay. The water elemental. Roll +4.
Don't see them in
1d8.
initiative.
Oops, sorry. There you go.
There we go.
The water elemental will surge forward
And fight
And-
the Edeling
and fight the Adeline.
as it usually goes.
But he will not care, as he'll surge forward and, in fact, try to smash into both the Adeling and Hirandor. As this will be against the Adeling, and this will be against Hirandor.
Sure.
Certainly is a hit. Let's see here.
Sure is. Well, there goes the temp HP.
Let's see. See, I will also, for the sake of transparency, reveal their ability as they surge towards you. The water elemental has a bunch of stuff. To summarize, it has the chance to empower itself spontaneously, the chance rising with each round. There's no water nearby, so it doesn't get the bonus from being near to water, but it's incredibly difficult to damage with normal weaponry.
So spellcasters, that's on you.
Yeah.